Good morning, all. My fellow travelers on Spaceship Earth, how are you? It is I am Guy. And we are here again today, and I'm futzing with this because it's so much fun. But I've done such interesting stuff now. You can see now the aircraft kind of coming in for a landing. Oop, let me here so we can see it deploy its gear. Comes in for a landing. And we should probably change our attitude again. And then rear wheel touchdown, then the brakes come on, front wheel touchdown, and then we get to the point where the canopy opens. Yay! And we're at wheel stop. Isn't that fun? Problem, of course, is the brakes come on and then they turn themselves off again too early. Because I forgot to put these guys highest extension. So then when they come in, because see, now my other flap is not down during the part where it needs to be down. It is down. It's not down as much as the other flap is. And it's just not going to work right at all, is it? Something went weird on the way to the... Once I zero that out, it won't move at all. That's strange. It's something to do with this rotation W. Does look cool at that speed. One thing we don't have is the vectored thrust assisting. We need to get the vectored thrust to assist because it is vectored at this point in time. It should be. Because those trim tabs come up. Why is the centerpiece not moving? Or why is there another centerpiece? Is that a different centerpiece? This is a different centerpiece. We don't need this piece. Good heavens. All right. Let's bring up the vectored thrust for this. An ejector seat. You're like, why is there no ejector seat? And why are you not animated? Up 14 degrees. Also you. Man. It's like, we have decided we are not animated. We will not animate. You cannot make us. You're not our real dad. All right. Up for the vector thrust. There we go. All right, about here. Take that vector thrust. And this guy's also vectored. No, not yet. This has been a long project, and it's kind of nice to see that it's fully animated. That's all. Animatable. Just messing around and not wanting to move to the next step. Yeah, the next step is UV mapping, and I really don't want to do that. I cannot tell you how much I really don't want to do that. Because it's boring, but we will do that today. That is our next mission.
Messages. Anna Jane's friend. Got home, eating a banana, feeling a bit better. Thanks for all your support. Hug.
Still thinks it's in driving mode. So, but it does show that it will do the job. Yeah, that's not bad. I need this, and the SAR group has 2 of these fighters. We need to put the gravity blade on the search and rescue one. We need to UV map this, but the SAR group just has has 2 of these guys and one MPV, which is already built. So even though this looks like I'm screwing around, I'm not. The way that that I'm being recommended um, to do these models when taking them into DAZ is to go on ahead and do all the bone work here and do all of its design work here, so that whenever you bring it into DAZ, it's already one machine, one unit, which is not the way it's working right now in DAZ. So Right now, the MPV, for example, you have to manually move each and every joint, and they will fall apart if you do it wrong. And that's making it, yeah, not impossible, but difficult to animate. And what really needs to happen is I need to have it be, you know, this this aligned and well done, so that everything is all built and all the pieces are together before I put it into DAZ. So export it like this and then put it into DAZ. And that's the real thing that they want us to start doing. And by they, I mean the people on the Blender forums who are talking about conversion. So we have to, and there's other things like I really want to make Jacine that actually have arms. But in order to do that, you need to build all of the arms with each and every joint all the way up so that you can bring the Jacine in correctly and make the models work right. And that means a lot more bone work than I've done for this. So there's a reason behind it. It's just that I'm actually kind of also enjoying just doing a little animation like this, you know? So, well, I mean, so first of all, I don't have any problem with using your fanfic, but second of all, how did you get to that? Just wondering. I mean, like, I don't have any problem at all with your fanfic. Your fanfic's awesome. I like the idea of it too. But I'm still trying to figure out how did you get there, you know? All right, save. Now we'll save as, because we got to get rid of this animation. Oh no, the blankets are here. The blankets will attack us. The blankets decide who will go and who stays. Just one more time because I like how pretty it is. Nice. Okay, I'll delete the animation now. Somebody ordered the cold for game. All right, let's at least bring these guys back to zero neutral. And also locked this, so you can't really use it very much. There we sort of. It still has this weird rock. I don't know what's going on. This is W thing. I don't even know what that. Yep. Can I just change this from, because it's got this W in it. What if I don't want this W? Something's weird about this. It's the only one that has a W on it, and it seems like the W is the problem. Whatever this rotation W means. And I remember seeing it somewhere. That wasn't it. Doesn't have animation. Still doesn't have animation. All right. That's why. So this is definitely the problem. It's definitely the Quaternion mode. In pose mode, okay. This is one of those where I'm like, am I doing this the right way? Probably not. The odds are very, very good that I am not doing this the right way. Still get that W. I want the W. Now we have something even newer. Because now it's off completely. Damn it. Okay. It added Haunter on, I don't know. I wish I could just take this whole rotation thing out and start over because all the other ones are correct, but this one's not. Interesting. It doesn't have the rotation options down at the bottom. What else is different? There should be axis angle or XYZ viewer. There. Now it's correct. It's just off place, but that's okay. I can fix that. I'll put you back in your place. That's weird. This one's not gapped like that. definitely has like a different shape going for it. That's very strange. But we fixed the primary problem. I'm going to call it good and not mess with it anymore. Because now we have to go to mapping. Work to do. Work, schmirk. Yeah. We'll see you in a second. All right. And the first step is in. You know, the top part of the wings. Do this just so we know that all these pieces end up over here, and then we'll redo the wings. It's going to be harder than it looks. Part of the reason why. I probably could even just continue with this theme here. Probably even take these top pieces right here, right? Right, George? These top pieces will work, right? Just saying. There we go. That's that entire top carriage. That works a lot. Do the same thing with the bottom. Grab all that. Everything but the hard points. And maybe the leading edge. Maybe. This way, I've selected everything. And what happens next is that I will use all of this for my UV points. And when I do, it's all one unit. So when I paint this, it'll paint all the different pieces of this ship, so to speak. I chose not to do that leading edge. All right. And since we did it to the top, we should do it to the bottom too. And that is this entire piece. The question is, how much of this undercarriage do I want to put on there? I guess really the answer is all of it. little bit touchier when we start getting into this inner zone right here. We're going to make sure we catch all of these pieces on the bottom. Everything except for that hip joint. And we don't want to do the undersides of that because they overlap. But we can and should do the landing doors, and I'm not going to do this part because it's part of the landing gear, but also it says something on it generally. Like it'll have a number or something on that side of it. So I don't want to mess up that, right? Says George. So I've selected everything pretty much on the undercarriage. And that's fine. So we'll go like this. We'll zoom in a little bit. And then we'll say unwrap, project from view. And all that project from view does is just make sure that the bottom, all of it is projected in this way. So we're looking at all of the pieces of the undercarriage in the same sort of way, right? And the reason I'm not doing this particular piece right here is because we want to actually do that differently. And in fact, we'll do that now so that I won't forget it, because I will. I totally forget it. And I'll grab that piece there. All right, and this becomes weird because what I really want is to look at straight on. So we're going to kind of do this. Looking at it straight on there. Say project from view this way. Because the size now, it's very different than the size of the piece around it. So what I'm going to do is fit these together. All right, so we'll take this. I'll move him up like so. I'll take this. What piece did I grab? I grabbed some other piece, that piece right there. I think that needs to be fixed. Hang on. We may have to stop this process temporarily and go into edit mode and then take a look at, because I'm not sure that worked right. Let's go into object mode, take just this. Open the door. No, that's what I want to open. Oh yeah, okay, so there is definitely a problem with the mesh right here. So we'll go into this guy and we'll say edit mode. What is our problem? Why are we not connected? Nobody really knows, but we'll make it connected. That's fine. Ooh. This is also open piece. No, it's just not done right. That's fine. I made it worse. Good job, you. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I have opened one of these and then I want to open it. I want it closed. This has made it worse. It's amazing how fast it takes for this to become worse. There. See, so I thought there was other pieces in there that had picked up and didn't need. While we're at it, let's take a look at these guys right here. Because these are on top of so we put them behind like this. This is the top of the engine nacelle struts. So we want them to be like that. We may actually put them up here. It's probably better. Gives them this space. This is apparently the cockpit floor bottom, which for reasons ended up there. I'm not sure what that's all about, and we didn't catch on the top this section right here. Damn it. So without catching that, you're gonna have to go all the way back here and do this. Anytime you miss a piece, we just have to go all the way back and catch all of these pieces. We're not going to catch the top fins. I'm looking at this tune going, well, you didn't catch that piece either right here. That's what we get for not being diligent. One of the reasons I'm not the world's best at this is because it's hard on the old ADD system to do all of the remembering for everything. There, that should be the top and the bottom of the wings. Everything but the front leading edge, the inner pieces of the wings, the intersections, and the divots. Yeah, we're going to go all the way around the outside edge, which is exactly what I expected to do, so we're okay. All right. Port side. And we've grabbed some of another piece, which we can then immediately go over here and just do that. And that removes that from that selection. In fact, we will do that a couple of times just to make double sure we don't grab something we don't want to grab. That was exactly what should have happened, I guess. To ensure that we catch all of this cowling, I'm going to go do this. And then just kind of make sure that I've got everything but this forward piece right there. There's some inside that we don't need. Then I will go like that and remove all the pieces that don't belong. And that should be all of that port side. In theory. We should also see if that needs to be grabbed up here. Yeah, it needs to be grabbed. Because it's not reflecting on the nose. Oh, that's because the nose hasn't been done yet. Well, there you go. There you go. And there you go. We'll go up here. There's from view. And that gives us the port side of that spacecraft, which the longer one's the underside, so we're going to rotate this guy. So nope. And it's important when we make these that we do this roughly in the same size. And the reason is because when we put all the lines in to make it look like it's hand drawn, you really, really, really do not want to have it set up where this piece is bigger than the other, because it'll scale the map and make it so some lines look fine and some lines look like real crap. So no matter how we do this, we want to make sure that we make everything line up correctly. Also, I'm trying very hard to do everything in a unit. So for example, I'm not doing the cockpit pieces. Not in this run, because I don't want to confuse myself later when I'm trying to figure out how to make this work and go, what the heck is this piece? So I'm trying to make it all somewhat logical. Also, some of this is just going to be black. The little connector in between here and there, where it's between the cockpit and the seat cushion, it's just going to be black. There's no reason to put color into it. It's got no specific reason that requires color. Perfect. All right. Again, we're going to come over here. We're going to zoom in on this. And we will shrink it down until it fits. And we'll flip it 180. The trick to UV mapping is you want the map to be as close to like what it would look like if you took sort of a piece of paper and unwrapped around it, which is why we use the term unwrap. Now, I don't use the intelligent unwraps because they're not very intelligent. I'd like it if they were more intelligent, but they're not. They don't do sort of this. So that's, though this is time consuming, it is beneficial in the end, because I'll be able to use this model for many things over and over and over till we retire this fighter in issue 290 or whatever. You know, this fighter will continue to be part of my fleet, and I will have this fighter in various things doing various jobs. But also, here's the thing: when you look at this now, it's flat as a ring, but here it's not obviously flat, right? So what's going to happen is this ring is going to actually be drawn in a way that will look right, because it now will be in this L-shaped curve. Makes it better. Also noticing that though this section this section right here is kind of an angle, these guys and these guys. So what I might do is take this right here and these three, and these three, nope, just these. Right? And I'll take this guy and I'll move it down just a smidge, like so. And then I can take these right here and I can just extend them out a little. And what that'll do is that'll make this more of a plane that fits. So it makes it so that whenever I draw these lines, they'll fit real nice. Because I know that when I did the viewing of it, this was tilted towards the camera. right? So it's foreshortened. So what I essentially just did was de-foreshorten that piece by extending it out a little. So now whenever I do the mapping on it, it'll make some sense. So there's the nose and the cockpit ring right here. We'll put it right next to the body hull of the vehicle. Once again, we'll save. We'll be done with the mapping on this tonight, but we're not going to be done with it today. We're already an hour in, and I'm only partially done. Some of this stuff is going to be, I mean, especially since we have legs on this and everything. This is the first model that's fully complete. I haven't done a very good job of completing the other ones yet. So, all right. At this point in time, we can select all of this, and it will show you how much of the model has been mapped and show us where we're missing some pieces and stuff like that. So from the front, like, that's not cool. Oh, because we haven't done the other side yet. We should probably put in the other side so that we now know what the other side looks like, right? So this side now needs to be done. All right, we can do just this now, because now we can just unselect whatever's been selected up there. Do this, kind of do that, and maybe that, that, and make sure we get these little pieces up here. The good news is we can then take that, and that just undoes the whole lot. Right. Grab that, and then take out that, and that just grabs this. And we'll, of course, take out the seat because we don't mess with the seat at this moment. And we can be somewhat sloppy once we start getting to the point where we've got a lot of other pieces of the spacecraft already selected. Because now we can just go through and do that, and that pulls those pieces out right there. That also needs that, though. We're going to have to fix that at some point in time. Getting underneath the spacecraft, it's hard to see with the legs up whether this is going to be how much of this do we need back here? Not a lot. Cool. Yeah, that didn't grab anything. All of that's done somewhere else. We shouldn't have to do any of the underside. It should just be the port side painting here. That looks good. It's grabbed some of the landing gear. I can see already. We don't need that. All right. Go to orthographic mode so that we don't have any perspective issues. And then we just say unwrap project from view. And this should be the other side, right? And now you can already see we're larger than the other side, so we want to make that the same. So we'll shrink it down about there. Slip and slide it back in here. This allows us to see whether they're equal. They're not. Just a little bit more. And then park it. In order to do the technique that I do, where I make this look like it's hand-drawn, it is vital that the UV map be the same size for the entire spacecraft. So we'll do all of this nose piece up here. And all I'm doing is centering that. There. That should be our entire nose, right? So if we go through here and do all of this and capture this and this is how we check it. Right? We just go through and we just check to make sure now back over here that the whole nose piece is selected. The underside's not selected, but the entire nose piece is. The underside's not selected because it is a different piece, but that whole nose piece is one unit, which will be fine. We're not missing anything. There's no missing or unmarked faces. All of that looks good. Perfect. And there are good things and there are bad things about my technique. There's the good thing that's really good about this technique is I can make something just black, like the inner pieces of the flaps, right? The edge lines of the flaps. I'm not going to UV map them when we're done with everything, and it has the spacecraft is orange all the way through, so that we can see, like at this point in time, when we select all of the pieces that have been mapped now, you can see a lot of the things that we'll still need to work on. But here's the thing, like these hard point spots on the bottom, they're black. That's what they are. So I'm not going to even bother to UV map them. There's no point. I'm going to have to do the sides, this side, the fronts and the back, because of course those hard points are going to have lines on either side of them to make them look like they're a box. But the bottom piece here can just be black. And so that means I'm not going to map it. I'm not going to even bother mapping it. There's no point. Now we need to do the after part of the spacecraft. That's you. And you. And you. And you. Nope. That's all right. I don't have to worry about that later. You can do that and it goes away. Right. Since I'm doing the after part, now I'm going to actually go ahead and add the wing sections. This will include the flaps. And though I'm not going to do the internal sections in here, those are just going to be black, I am going to do all the wing pieces all the way out. And now I think I can do the back part of the nacelle pieces, so I'll do those too. And looking there, because this should give me just pretty much everything to the after section of the vehicle. Make sure nothing is selected from over here. And then we'll say project from view. This is going to give us a very strange critter to deal with over here, right? So I'm going to put it as close as I can to the back of the spacecraft so that when we have the wings in there, everything sort of fits nicely and you can see the logic of it. This is important. There we go. And now, because it is occupying a lot more space than I want it to, I'm going to take this piece and just move it in. You can see now this is logically the same piece back here. It all fits, all is well. And then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to do this and this and this and maybe, come on, just that little guy right there. And these guys. And I'm just going to rotate them so that they fit in nicely with the wing. And put it right about there. In reality, I could do the other side of it, but I'm not going to. Because I don't care. I mean, I do care, but I don't care enough. I don't think those little points are... Now, watch these points be a big pain in the ass whenever we get to that side. But, you know, for right now... There we go. Now just put the wingtip edge in like that. Now we've gotten those guys in. Now, if we select the whole vehicle, you can already see that we've got now the wings are completely in as they need to be, except for the wing tips. We've got to do this inner edge, and the inner edge is actually going to be kind of a pain because it's got to be done from the opposite side of the spacecraft. So we're going to have to do like this weird thing. We also need to do the bottom pieces of the nacelles because we've got the top pieces up here, but we don't have the bottoms. So we've got a couple of strange pieces that need to be dealt with. So we're going to do those real quick while we still are thinking about it before I start thinking other things and getting completely distracted. Go to the underhull. Say unwrap, project from view. This gives us the bottom pieces of the nacelle pods. And if you recall, these are the tops right here. Right? So I'm actually going to take the tops of the nacelles and move them with the bottoms of the nacelles, just so that I have reference of what we're doing. Because otherwise I'm going to be so confused whenever I'm trying to deal with these nacelles. I'm like, I don't even know what these things are. And the fronts probably also need to be done. They're probably not set up at all, which is fine. The nacelles are their own object. So I kind of want these to be sort of out in their own little box, so to speak. Right? We already know that these are the backs right here. And this is the bottom. And this is the top. So one of the things I can do is start making it logical. This is the front. Right? Those now fit like that, right? And this will help me later try to figure out what the heck is going on with these things. together like this. I can even rotate it so that they match. Over the last however long I've been doing this, I have learned a lot about how these things work. Right, that's the bottom, which starts here. Right. So we can take this top piece and maybe even do a match like that. And what's interesting about this now is be careful with that one. This guy belongs to this guy. Kind of see where I'm going on this, right? Just made it one object. Kind of looks like this. That way, all I have to do is just outline this, and it's done. We'll do the same thing with the other nacelle. Wow, we'll rotate the other nacelle for reasons. And we'll put that right here. It's already too big. There we go. Now what I can do is, now we've made these nacelles, we can kind of bring them together. I'm rotating them until they sort of match a little like this. This is an organizing thing, so your mileage may vary. Whether you want to do this or not is up to you. Hello, Back. I am Guy. Hey, Back, I'm Dad. In fact, for space concerns, I might do this. because they'll both fit now kind of together like so. I don't like UV mapping. However, I really love painting spaceships. So once this mapping is done, I'm going to have so much fun making this spaceship look awesome. So it's sort of a trade. Like, I hate it. I hate the UV mapping, but I sure do love doing the rest of the work. So it's worth it to get to that point, you know. There we go. Now the nacelles are complete on that piece. Now if we select the spacecraft, we can now see over here how much of the spacecraft is now painted and set up and rigged, and how much is not. So next thing's next. We've got in the main hull, pretty much all of the main hull, we've got to get these little inside pieces right here. I'm going to get both of those guys. Kind of a pain to do those because we've got to do them in the reverse side. It is very important that when you do these from the inside pieces. So make sure that is to starboard. And this is to port. And then we'll double check this because we want to make sure that this is connected to the same wing. It isn't, as you might imagine. We have done them backwards. This guy belongs to this wing, and that guy belongs to that wing. Now, placing these is going to be kind of tricky. Not that horrible, just tricky. They're going to have to go in this alcove right here. Now, like I said before, we're going to make sure that these are the same size, otherwise the lines will look weird. So if I've got to stick it out a little bit more so it doesn't get interrupted there. There we go. Now the next thing is going to be the front edge of the hull. The leading edge. Not to be confused with the bleeding edge, which, that happens when you walk in front of the spacecraft and don't look at where you're walking. Then it's bonk right into the wing. That's the bleeding edge. Completely different thing. There we go. Now, if we select this whole thing, that should give us quite a bit of the spacecraft that is now covered. Hard points aren't. There's these little triangles right here which need to be dealt with. But they're going to have to be with nope, he's on the other side. There you go. I try to put the objects as close to their actual location on the spacecraft as possible. These triangles are right here and right here. So representing that little section right there, we want to make sure that that's as good as it can get and close as it can get so that it makes some sense. Otherwise, it's going to be one of those, what? You what? What'd you do? I don't get it. And then I won't know where do these little triangles go. All right. We still need to do hard points, things like that. But for the most part, it looks like the hull of the primary hull of the spacecraft. Uh-oh, we have a missing piece. This is where we check stuff. Okay, because it's right here. Now, is that part of you? And if so, the question really is, because this is the one that's not captured. Uh-oh. Already not liking that. That's what I was afraid of. Guess who did those backwards? Two guesses. They both don't belong to me. Okay. I gotta figure out. So this is sadly part of the bottom. Damn it. Don't want it to be part of the bottom. We got two problems we gotta fix. This is one. Problem number one is this, and that is it's really hard to replace something when it hasn't quite placed properly. Not impossible, just remarkably difficult. Well, that's a hell of a guess, guy. Works though. All right. This guy actually is on the other side. There we go. Save again. Okay, forward haul is complete, I believe. Let me make sure that's this side. Yep, that's this side. All right. Now all we need to do is just put in all of the hard points. Yay! But they're all one unit, so there's that. I'm going to do the same thing on this and do the insides of the other two hard points. And that's just because that works a lot easier for us to remember. These are all hard points. Well, that thing would pop and crack, apparently. Who knew? Who knew? Right. All right. We'll go for the other side. Uh-oh. We have made a mistake. Nope. Like, would you do them backwards? Yes, I would. Yep, the old age is kicking in. Time for everything to pop and crack. Yep. Yeah. Like I said, we'll finish this tonight because there's no way we're going to finish this today. Man, I am determined to do this backwards. The thing that really sucks is we really haven't gotten to the most complicated part of this yet. Good. I have to fix these at some point, but I'm not doing it yet. I'll do it. I'll do it a little later on. All right. Nope. We gotta fix that. Let's fix that. We got 10 minutes. Let's see what we can do about fixing this. This is not a good thing. Uh-oh. All right. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Yeah, here you go. That's nice to know. This is one of those that's going up when you said go down. It's literally going the opposite of what it needs to do. Oh, for crying out loud. I'm like, I'll fix this problem. 2 hours later, I'm still fixing this problem. I don't even know where the landing gear went.
Incoming call from an unknown caller.
Hang on. The automated messages are really obnoxious. Because that was a message to remind me that I have an appointment today. It was the same one that reminded me that I had an appointment yesterday. Yesterday reminded me that I had an appointment today. And the day before, when they reminded me I had an appointment today, it's like I appreciate it, I really do, but it is a little oppressive. Now, in the to be fair portion of this discussion, I do have attention deficit. One is going to, worry about that. That makes some sense that maybe they'd have to keep reminding me and stuff like that. So that makes some sense. I get it. I mean, I get it, but it is still aggravating. All right. No, that's not the pivot point for you. Oh boy. Here we go again. We done did it wrong. This goes to show you the lesson to be learned here is do the stupid positioning of everything before you tear it all apart, or make sure you've got it all set up straight so that you don't have to go through this rigmarole every time. Well, I'm feeling like we are getting pretty close to the end here. We're not quite fully deployed yet, but we're getting closer. Now we're going to do this entire leg over here too, because this leg is off. Yep, because the joint. It's all because this one knee joint is off. Ugh. It's a hip joint, but it's still off. It's like, that's obnoxious. Everything is going to have to be replaced because this joint is off. Make this easier for yourself, or not, as you see fit. And your parent did the wrong thing. That's not good. Mm. Right? You can't do that. All right. All right, guys, we're going to get rolling here in a sec. Try to put this landing gear back at its bay first. And then we will get rocking and rolling. Landing gear doors back on. I put the wrong bone in the wrong place.
Ooh, I hate that. That actually hurts.
Yeah, it's dislocated. I have dislocated bones. Right? All right. Now that we have this, can I do this? That looks good. Now what about that? That looks good. Not actually horrible. Would have expected far worse. Not bad, actually. This guy can forward like so. Against the hull. This guy turn this way, but really go this way, all the way back. This guy goes forward on the knee joint. And a little off, but we're good.
Are you currently streaming?
I am still streaming, but I'm going to bounce. There. This is a bounce warning. Bounce warning! All right, guys. I'm out because I got to go run errands. I will talk to you guys later. Yeah, I know. I know we have to fix Nightbot, and I don't know what to do about Nightbot. We need to talk to KN about it. You're being taunted, just so you know. So, I'm not 100% sure he cares, but that's okay. Anyway, I will see you all later. We'll get back to this one tonight. Like I said, we still got a lot of work to do on it, but that's all right. It's turning out pretty cool, and I like it, and it works. I'll see you guys tonight, and as always, keep your eyes on the stars. Bye-bye.